Hello, and thank you for taking the time to take a look at this quick video. I put this together today to give a clear understanding of the high yield investment programs that you hear about. You know, most people don't realize it, but a typical investment, if you were to make 15–20% in a year, that'd be fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of real estate investments. If you own your own business, you're getting a return about 20% a year on the high side. Sometimes you can flip properties. There's different ways that you can make money in investments out there. You can also invest in the stock market. You can get maybe an investment in a portfolio. You can do mutual funds. But a lot of people hear about these high yield investment programs. And so I wanted to take a minute and really explain to you exactly what a high investment yield program is. It's called an HYIP. So kind of like the hype, but it's not really hype. It's actually, there really is high yield investment programs out there, but you need to know which ones to look at, which ones are going to be the best for you. So although I'm not going to reference many of the high yield investment programs, I may use some examples. A high yield investment is anything that's going to pay any more than, say, 5 or 10% a month. Now, some of the high yields will pay anywhere from 0.5 all the way up to 8, 10, 12% a day. But there's terms, a certain amount of time that they're going to be investing in the program. And the majority of these programs that you're going to find are outside of the United States. Number one, I wouldn't advise getting in any program that's a high yield investment inside the United States. That's number one. Number two, any program that you get involved with, make sure that you do your due diligence. Make sure you only use discretionary income that you can afford to lose. That means if you invest in it and you're going to go out with your friends for the weekend, or you had extra money that you didn't know really what to do with, you want to just leverage it, then that's the money you use. Because coming high yield, high risk, right? They come together. So you want to make sure that you mitigate your risk as much as possible. And so to do that, really you want to take the time to really investigate the programs. Now, some of the programs are invested in multiple different types of high yields. There's everything from large trade programs that you hear about, which less than 99.9% of them are real. But there is trade programs out there that do pay upwards of 20 to 100% a month on your money. There is also programs where you can invest in, say, oil or bank instruments, but most people don't know anything about that, and I don't advise you to get involved with it because it's very difficult and it takes many years to become an expert in that field. However, what I'm talking about today is a high yield investment program that you can get involved with as little as, say, $10 and all the way as much as hundreds of thousands. Now, the word discretionary is different for each person, right? So some people, the word discretionary may mean $100. Other people, discretionary means $10,000 or $100,000. So it's all relative to where you're at. So I always say start where you're at. And so in that regard, typical high yield investments, they will show you that you are going to put your principal in and they're going to invest it for a period of time. So a period of time may be anywhere from a couple of days upwards to half a year. So it could be a month, could be a couple of months, and during that time they're going to pay you a percentage every day. Now there's different types of programs. Some programs are going to actually pay based on a trade platform, and if they're trading, say they're trading cryptocurrency as an example, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're trading on the exchanges, then you're actually investing and you're riding the back on the traders that know what they're doing. And then they're basically sharing the profits with you. And they're sharing a small percentage of daily profits, say anywhere from 0.5 upwards to, say, 4 or 5% a day. Now, that being said, if it's a real trade program, they don't trade on weekends. They only trade during the week. A high yield investment program that invests in, let's say, electricity contracts, or let's say they invest in cryptocurrency mining, or let's say they invest in other high yield programs, they probably are going to pay out 7 days a week, even 365 days a year they can pay out. However, the majority of programs you're going to find that if you do your due diligence and you're able to get involved with them early, you'll find that they will stay in business anywhere from a couple months upwards to a couple of 3, 4, or 5 years. The longest that I've seen is probably about a 7-year program, but typically the average time frame for a high yield investment is usually about 6 months. So if you get involved in one of them in the first couple of months and you've done your due diligence and you're making anywhere from 1 to 3% a day, ask yourself this question. If you're making 3% a day on your money, and in 33 days you have 100% of your money back, and you pull your principal out, because when I say pull your principal out, that means you've earned enough to cover your principal that doesn't necessarily mean that you were able to access your principal. They invested your money, and then they paid you basically dividends on the money that you've invested for a period of time. Some of the companies will give you a share certificate that shows that it's a legal share in their company for a period of time, that they're paying out a guaranteed percentage every single day. Now, in those companies, obviously you want to make sure and get your principal out of the investment, 100% of your investment back, and then play with the house's money. So as an example, let's say a program lasts 60 days. And during that 60 days, they're paying 3% a day. That's 3 times 60. That's 180. So you're getting 180% on your money, but in actuality, your principal was 100%. So you kept 80% over 60 days. So each of the 30 days, you earned 40% on your money. Now, I don't know about you, but at the beginning of this video, I said that a normal investment is 20% a year on the high side. So if you earned anything more than 20% in a year, if you broke that down monthly, that's less than 2% a month. So if I'm telling you, you could make anywhere from 40, 20, 10% a month, those are huge returns. So I highly advise you to do your due diligence, look into high yield investment programs, use discretionary income when you get involved, and make sure that whenever you do this, you look to programs that are early in the process, because most of these programs are out of the UK, they're out of Russia, possibly India, but at the end of the day, they're probably not going to last long term. Now, I will warn you, I'm going to put a huge disclaimer in. There's a lot of programs out of Russia that are especially connected to Bitcoin that are Ponzi schemes. When I use the word scheme, that means that they don't explain exactly what your investments are going into. It's one thing that if you get involved in a company, they're paying a high yield, and they tell you, okay, we're getting involved in trading, and we show you the trading accounts. We're getting involved in other high yield investment programs, and they show you those. Or you're getting involved in any type of company that is transparent with the investment, like electricity contracts. That's great. That would be considered a company that they have told you ahead of time what they're investing in. But companies that take and pay your money from the investors' money after you, that's considered a Ponzi. Now, they're considered Ponzi schemes if no one knows what's going on and they try to dupe you into putting in your investment. So this industry, when it comes to Bitcoin, is not regulated. It is decentralized, and it allows you to really kind of the wild, wild west in regards to investing in these high yields. If you're outside the US, you could probably invest with one of the many wallets out there, such as Payer or Payza or Solid Trust Pay or one of these type of wallets. The problem is most people don't really take the time to understand Bitcoin, because Bitcoin really is a fantastic way for you to invest. Even though it gets converted into US dollars in your investment, it's a great way for you to keep off the grid, to be able to earn some money, especially from the United States, without being regulated, and be able to leverage that money. And then you can convert it either to a debit credit card. There's companies like BitPay. There's another company called Shift Payments that's owned by Coinbase. So these are different ways you can get the money right off of a credit card, and then you can reinvest that into whatever you want when it's back in your normal capital in your bank. You can also take one of the wallets, one of the many wallets, such as Circle or Coinbase, or there's exchanges like Gemini, and there's Kraken, and GDAX actually is owned by Coinbase. So there's different ways that you can actually put your money into a Bitcoin wallet. So the first thing you need to do is actually buy Bitcoin. How do you do that? You get one of these wallets, you sign up for an account, you verify yourself. Typically, you're going to have to show a couple forms of ID. You're going to have to confirm who you are so they know you're not a terrorist, you know you're not in some money laundering scheme, and that way they will increase the amount of money daily that you're able to deposit from your bank. If you're going to have a transfer from a source that's going to give you Bitcoin, that's a different story. If you're going to have money brought into your account, there really doesn't take much verification to receive money transfer from one cryptocurrency address to another. And so that said, I encourage you to play with it. You know, depending, again, what's discretionary, if it's a couple hundred, if it's a couple thousand, if it's hundreds of thousands, whatever it is, there's nothing like making this kind of money on your money. And I've been doing this for a while now. I've leveraged it. I've realized that there is good programs, there's bad programs. I will reference a couple of programs that I have been involved with and I've invested myself. Smaller amounts of money, no large amounts of money, but everything from Coins out of the UK. There's another company that just opened up called LaraWith.me, which is a great program that actually utilizes the Telegram platform, and it pays out 3% a day every day. Coins pays out 3% a day for a 60-day period on an electricity contract. There's other programs out there, and you'll find that when you do your due diligence, you'll find many of them. So just be real careful. There's another great one that uses trading accounts. It's called Merchant Shares. There's another one that's called ETH Trade. And again, depending on which program you choose, do your due diligence. I'm not advising you that these companies are going to be around forever. I'm just saying that these are companies that I have personally invested in, and I've gotten returns, gotten my principal out, and I've been able to play with the house's money. And that's my last advice to you. Whenever you get involved in these companies and you're able to leverage your money, get your money out as soon as possible and be able to leverage the house's money and try to reinvest as soon as you can. And one other point is there's referral programs to a lot of these. So if you feel comfortable with the program, they pay out anywhere from 5 to 10% on the deposits of people that you refer into the program. That's another great way for you to leverage and be able to not necessarily use your money, utilizing other people's money. They're getting a return. You're able to leverage those referrals and those commissions to be able to create your own returns and keep that as an investment. So I just want to put this quick video together for you, give you a clear understanding of how high yield investment programs work. I hope this was beneficial to you, and I hope you take the time to really understand the cryptocurrency market and take a look at some of our other videos. Subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you taking the time to look at the video today. Take care, take charge, and we'll see you at the top.